Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, honourable members and all present. I'll give a very quick introduction to the European Chemicals Agency. There we go. The European Chemicals Agency works together with our partners, which means to a large extent member states, the Commission, Parliament, and also our institutional stakeholders representing industry, green NGOs, unions, but also more specialized groupings like animal welfare, with the aim of ensuring the safe use of chemicals. We do that by implementing a large number of chemicals legislation. They're all put up here on the slide, but I won't run through them with you now. The objective is to ensure safety, and thereby we protect workers, we protect consumers when using chemicals, but also the citizen who is unintentionally exposed to chemicals and the environment unintentionally exposed to chemicals. Through the environment leg of our work, we thereby contribute to the policy areas of biodiversity, water, air, soil, just to name some. Our work is mainly EU-oriented, but we also have a number of tasks which contribute to the international chemicals agenda. Through our work on safety, we also have a strong contribution to the well-functioning of the internal market, and thereby having a fair and equal competition within Europe. And through that, the safety and internal market, we contribute to having an innovative chemicals industry. And through the fact that chemicals industry is the industry of industries, we contribute to innovation in manufacturing industry in general. And through innovation and safety, we also contribute to the competitiveness of not only chemical industry in the EU, but also our EU industry at large. Our agency's added value in this bigger machinery of protection, competitiveness, innovation, and internal market is that through our implementation of these multiplicity of chemicals legislation, we can ensure synergies between the legislation, which among other things means efficiency and thereby gaining in speed and increasing protection and contributing thereby more to innovation, competitiveness, and internal market. But also, and that's maybe for the citizen more important, to the consistency between these pieces of legislation. So to a large extent, synergies and consistency between legislation is what we can contribute to there. The basis of our work is evidently our staff, our knowledge and our experience, but feeding that knowledge and experience is the world's largest database on chemicals. And that database is one that not only feeds us and our work in the Chemicals Agency, but also everybody in the Union who works with or uses chemicals, and in particular our industry, again, supporting their competitiveness and innovation. We have a number of very specific competences: data management, assessment of chemicals, risk management of chemicals, and the assessment of the socio-economic impacts of both use and management of chemicals. These competences we put to use well knowing that chemicals is an issue that worries the citizen. Several Eurobarometer studies, but also national opinion polls have shown this. And therefore, we try actively to contribute to and address the worries of our citizen through applying these competences and increasing the general knowledge, but also the specific knowledge on chemicals. Through that, advancing the safe use of them, and finally doing this transparently so that our citizens can be assured that we're doing this with a proper and strong scientific basis. Our duty is not only to implement, effectively be your workhorse on chemicals management, on the scientific and technical aspects. It's also to try to be ready to be there when you want us, from a policy perspective, to take action. So we also look forward and try to position ourselves as an agency to be ready should you need us. And the next two slides give you some reflections on where we are in this thought process. Clearly, there has been an agenda of circular economy which we see being carried through and expect being carried through this legislative period, and now is also a Green Deal as being an overriding priority from the Commission President-elect's perspective. What we see in a context of circular economy is that very basically, circularity is about circularity of materials, and all materials are made up of chemicals. So in a sense, we're not involved in the circular economy. The circular economy involves ECHA every day, simply by the fact that circularities and chemicals is one and the same thing. But also, chemicals and our chemical industry and the innovation coming from our chemicals industry will be a driver of the solutions to many of the societal challenges that we have. So chemical industry is a solution bringer to, for example, technical solutions for climate change. But at the other side, these solutions need to be safe, and that's where, again, we as agency come in. We can contribute with our knowledge and our competences in this circular economy and in providing input into the development of a Green Deal. In doing this, we have reorganized our agency and along a multiplicity of lines, but two most important for this presentation is that we're organized in a way now that we much easier can take on new tasks and integrate them immediately into our current work of other pieces of legislation, so that we can harvest the synergies and the consistency faster than we could in the past. And the other element is that we now look institutionally within the agency, not at a single substance at a time, but at groups of substances. We're trying it out now. We should be operational by the end of next year to really do this systematically, but we're trying it out now. Our biggest asset is what you see on this picture, is our staff. And actually, this is approximately a third of them. It's in the heads and the experiences of our staff, all working towards the sustainable management of chemicals for the benefit of our citizens and the environment. With those words, I'd like to finish my part of this 5 presentations of the agencies. Thank you.